Stephanie White, want to take questions after a brief statement? Go ahead, Steph.
I'm just looking forward to another opportunity to be on the floor and bounce back. We certainly understand that winning on the road is tough in this league. We have an outstanding opponent in Seattle, but quick turnaround. So ready to get back on the floor.
Tarika, do you have a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, just kind of talking about coming into this one, some of the rotations. Are you looking to make any adjustments to your second rotation in this game based off what you saw against Las Vegas?
I think it depends on matchups. It's certainly depending on matchups. A lot of our rotations are dictated by matchups on the defensive end of the floor. That's our bread and butter. That's certainly what carries for us. So depending on matchups, we'll look at some different pieces for sure.
Hey, Steph, Ezzy Magbagor has been a big factor for them defensively. I'm just curious what you've seen in your scout of how Magbagor kind of factors in. Everyone talks about their big three, but Ezzy's been a problem down there.
Yeah, she is. She's a problem on both ends, honestly. I mean, certainly her length, her ability to recover quickly, even if it might look like she's out of the play, to be a shot alterer as much as a shot blocker. So our decision-making when we get in the paint is going to be critical, whether it's our perimeter players attacking. Once she's in rotation, we got to find the next pass. That's something we need to be better in. I don't feel like we did a great job at that against Las Vegas. And then we got to try to get her moving. We got to try to get her away from the basket, get her moving. I'm not sure who she's going to match up on, but whoever that is between Breezy and AT, try to get them involved in multiple actions.
I know you've said all year, you have a veteran team, and even early in the year when you were winning games and you felt you weren't playing your best. How's the morale of the team after playing a marquee opponent Friday? Like you mentioned, a quick turnaround, so you just kind of have to flush it anyway. But how, after a loss against like New York, how's the team's morale as far as how they're picking each other up?
I think it's good. We know that we didn't play our best basketball. Certainly, I think our defense, even though it wasn't perfect, gave us an opportunity. We missed something like 18 to 20 shots within 5 feet. We've still got to find ways to continue to get better on the offensive end of the floor, get more consistent on the offensive end of the floor. When we play, these elite teams, we've got to be able to score. Good offense beats good defense any day of the week. We certainly have a good defense, but when you're playing teams that have 4 and 5 scorers on the floor consistently, we got to be able to score with them. And so I think continuing to progress on the offensive end of the floor, in our reads, making the right play, making the right pass, letting the ball find the right people, is going to be important. Oftentimes you tend to get tunnel vision in some of those situations, and we've got to continue to play through and with each other.
Coach, you've mentioned previously that, how Breezy or how long Breezy plays will be dependent upon the medical staff and how she's feeling after having such a great start, really consistent offensively. As you're looking for offensive consistency, are we still looking at minimizing her minutes, or are we feeling better about increasing how much time she plays?
We're feeling better about increasing it. There's no longer a quote unquote minutes restriction. We're tracking some of her weekly usage. And I think the biggest thing for us is trying to stretch it for longer periods of time to build up her endurance, so she can be effective. She played hard minutes early against Vegas, and we could see a little bit of fatigue. So I think for us, just kind of recognizing what that looks like, combinations of travel, of how much pressure she's putting on offense and defense, and then really just regulating and depending on her to communicate with us and how she's feeling.
Good too.
George, go ahead.
Coach, obviously, with any team that leads in so many major defensive categories, rebounds, steals, and blocks for Seattle, how much does that change the emphasis on doing little things better, like hitting the open threes, taking advantage at the free throw line, and not turning the ball over?
It's huge. All of those things are important for us, and that's going to be our growth process. Taking care of the ball, certainly giving ourselves an opportunity, being better screeners, making sure we can get one another open, being great off-ball cutters when we see them in the help and rotation, and making the extra pass. All of those things are going to be really important when you're playing a good defensive team.
All right.